I'm only somewhat going to discuss the Momo challenge, but I will read through this article. YouTube is demonetizing videos, apparently every video about Momo. If you're not familiar, there's this photo going around claiming that it's encouraging kids to harm themselves. And this is just a piece of art from some, Japanese individual. I think it's real. Actually, it's really good. This is a really, really good, freaky little thing here. And it's like a woman who's actually a chicken of some sort. I don't know. So here's the point of the video. The Momo challenge wasn't real. At least that's what's widely believed. Unfortunately, the Momo challenge was reported as real by many news outlets. Apparently, it was a hoax. It's hard to know, and BuzzFeed says we don't know if the Momo challenge is real, and that's the problem. As stories about the Momo challenge go viral, we may never know the scale of the phenomenon or who was behind it. Initially, it was reported far and wide that there was a hoax that was going to get, it was a challenge that was going to get kids to hurt themselves, threatening their parents and trying to scare them. But then it was reported the whole thing was fake. No one had any proof any of it ever happened, and the media was just uncritically pushing out fake news. Even YouTube issued a public statement saying, we have no reports of this. There's no evidence to believe it's true. The media created the psychosis. It is a circle jerk of insane nonsense, and they won't take responsibility for it. I got a couple stories for you in this vein. This may be apocryphal, but I grew up in Chicago, and it was reported that, this is funny, you're going to love this, in the crack epidemic, crack cocaine, that what had happened was that media reported that crack was becoming an epidemic, that people were dying from it, and here's what the drug does, and here's how cheap it is. This effectively served as an advertisement, and then all of a sudden, the crack epidemic became a real thing. People started seeking it. They saw it on the news and said, whoa, that sounds great, it's cheap, and I can do what with it, and it does what? That sounds awesome. They went out and started buying it, and then the crack became a real problem. Now, that may be apocryphal, but I will tell you something that I want to clarify. It's been like 15 or so years. It's been a long time since I remember the story. Growing up in Chicago, when I was a teenager, I think like right around the time I turned 20, there was concern about fentanyl. Super heroin, they were calling it. And here's the best part. Local news reported there had been 6 deaths, I think it was 6, from super heroin, and that police were shocked. They needed to do something about fentanyl because it was too powerful and it was killing people. And they pointed out exactly where people overdosed from doing fentanyl. Can you guess what happened next? Yes, the following day or whatever, there were way more overdoses from fentanyl. You know why? Because the news told people where to get it and what it did, so they did. The media needs to take responsibility for the influence they have, and there is a responsibility not to report certain information because these things happen. Now, I'll admit there's a challenge. Do people have a right to know? They do. But at the same time, should you put out source information? I think there is a limit. You can tell people this is a drug, people died, but we're not going to tell you where to get it because some people will actually go and buy it. And it seems like this is what Momo may actually be. The media, in my opinion, is a sick, disgusting, twisted industry of insane people with insane motives who carry out things that are insane. And to slightly paraphrase into John Lennon, I'm likely to be called insane for suggesting it. When Donald Trump calls it the fake news for putting out complete and utter crap, they say oh no, Trump is threatening democracy. Yeah. The John Lennon quote was something like, our country is run by insane people for insane reasons, and I'm likely to be called insane for suggesting that. And I'm trying to allude to that these media companies are driven by political agendas. They're driven by money. Why did everyone start circulating the Momo story? Oh, it was shocking. It was a moral panic. Local news ran far and wide. Parents, are your kids secretly watching videos that will get them to kill themselves? And what do? Everyone starts believing it's real. In response to this, people want to get in on the phenomenon and start making actual videos. So they say in BuzzFeed, screenshot from a since-removed YouTube video showing the types of messages kids could have seen. Could have seen? This channel has 37 subscribers. Is this the best you could have done, BuzzFeed, to even pretend this may be real? Now, again, maybe it was real. I don't know. The media is so full of crap, I don't know what to believe. Here's what they say. A YouTube video of Peppa Pig going on a picnic with her family begins like any other episode of the popular kids show, but 3 minutes into the bright, chipper video, a distorted face with bulging eyes appears with a creepy robotic voice begins speaking. Slice your leg and you will never meet me, the voice says. Slice your wrists and your parents will never see me. Another similarly creepy video depicts a slow zoom in on the character as it sings "Momo is going to kill you." Those videos, combined with a wave of reactive media coverage and alarming Facebook posts, have panicked parents and made them concerned that a so-called Momo challenge could cause their kids to hurt or even kill themselves. Both parents on social media and news coverage of the story say the videos have emotionally traumatized some children. But despite the flurry of reporting and warnings, it remains unclear how many Momo videos actually exist, whether they have actually caused kids to harm themselves, and just how widespread a phenomenon it is. It's also possible that media coverage has helped amplify the Momo challenge into existence, creating a vicious cycle that encouraged people to post more Momo videos, sparked panic, and even caused police departments to issue warnings about the challenge itself and the media's promotion of it. Police now are warning people that the media is promoting fake news. And you know what's funny? I'm sure there'll be some people who will watch this video and go, woo, and and just go and make some videos. But let's talk a little bit more about how insane the media is. Because the media is insane. You may have seen this headline. I'm here to make a criticism of the media. I don't care about Momo. What's this story? Read this headline. 4 women who left water and food for migrants in Arizona sentenced to probation. Oh, what a terrible world. Why would law enforcement put them on probation for just leaving food and water for migrants? Oh, this headline shows you just how truly awful the world is. My God, our government is so cruel. Well, let's get the finer details. 4 women who left food and water for migrants in the Arizona desert have been sentenced and fined for entering a national wildlife refuge without a permit. Oh. I thought you were claiming it was because they left food and water for migrants, CNN. This is disgusting. And this is what the media does. You see how they've done this? Oh, this is the truth. It is. I've explained how people use the truth to trick you. People see this headline, they retweet it, and what they think when they see it. So you go on Reddit and look at the thread for this story, and you'll see comments from people saying things like, how disgusting of our government. Migrants are humans too and deserve decency. Absolutely. But this story isn't about that. The story is about women who, 4 women who entered a national wildlife refuge without a permit, and apparently they were driving around in places they weren't supposed to, and they got in trouble for it. There's also concern here. Let's get into the nuance of what they actually did. Left food and water. They didn't give people food and water. They dropped food and water on the ground. That's also littering, and animals will probably get it. Well, let's read what happened. The women were sentenced to Friday to 15 months of unsupervised probation, which is basically nothing, fined $250 each, and banned from the Cabeza Prieta National Wildlife Refuge in Ajo for the duration of their probation. I'm not going to read their names because whatever. They say they were stopping the deaths of migrants in the desert. In the summer of 2017, No More Death said the women left jugs of water and food in the desert of the wildlife refuge, which is near the U.S. border with Mexico. That summer was one of the hottest on record. Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. What did they do? They drove into a wildlife refuge, they went into the middle of the desert, and they left jugs of water and food. Did they give migrants food? No. Should that be included in the headline? Probably not. Here's a title for you. 4 women who left food and water near the U.S. border were sentenced for illegally entering a wildlife refuge. Can we move on from there? This is what the media does. They say things that are true in such a way so that you believe certain things about them. Again, I guess the point of this video is mostly just more criticism of the media, because that's what I did on my main video. So they go on. In addition to entering without a permit, the women were also accused of abandoning personal property. According to a statement by the Department of Justice, Hoffman was also convicted of operating a motor vehicle in the refuge. So they've done many things wrong, and there are reasons why you need permits for this. You can't go drive around randomly. For one, you can die, and then rescue crews have to come for you. 2, leaving food and water in the desert doesn't guarantee anyone's going to get it, just that animals will probably break into it, and it's bad for the animals, especially if they eat the food and the food can cause harm to them. Like, I don't know what animals in the desert could be harmed by this, but look, like dogs can't eat garlic. They can't eat chocolate. So I don't know what food they left. The point is, it's bad. Don't do this. There's a reason why we have regulation. And what I love about the left is how they clamor for government regulation, but then fly in the face of that regulation in law enforcement because they hate the it's not even about regulation. It's just tribal BS, total BS. According to the statement by No More Deaths, the judge presiding over the women's trial said in court, "I think it goes without saying, you need water in the desert, and without water you will die." And First Assistant U.S. Attorney Elizabeth A. Strange commended the work of the United States Fish and Wildlife Service for its commitment to preserving the land. Our office will continue to review potential violations on federal lands on a case-by-case basis and bring charges as appropriate, Strange said. There's a lot of criticism from the left where they go, all of a sudden Republicans who are criticizing this are environmentalists. Yeah. Wave the finger at the straw man. You can blame the Republicans. I'm not a Republican. I'm an environmentalist. And I think y'all are dumb. And more importantly, this is a lie. This is a lie by misdirection by CNN. The media is trash. They create their own problems and they trick people to push political agendas. I'm out. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. This kind of stuff, it pisses me off. I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m.